Today I'm going to be trying some apparently unhinged makeup hacks. That's how they describe them, not me. And I'm going to see if they're actually any good. These are tips from real people in the comments section on TikTok, which is a little bit different to how I normally do these videos, but I'm hoping for some good things this time. In today's video, I'm partnering with Wild. They've got a new Sunkissed scent and this new Cath Kidston case, which is the Birds and Berries case. How cute is that design? I do have a discount code, I'll put it on the screen, but I have used Wild deodorant for coming up 4 years now. I was checking back in my camera roll and it was when me and James first went to ski Athos together, which was in 2021. September 2021 was when I first started using Wild, and I started using it because I was getting a reaction to my spray-on antiperspirant and my dad was using Wild. I think my brother might have been using it at that point as well. So I thought, oh, you know what, I may as well just give it a go. I'll bring it on holiday with me. I also really liked the idea that it was refillable, so you just take off the lid. And the newer design cases, you don't have to press any buttons anymore. You'd literally just like give the bottom part a wiggle. Then this is the actual deodorant refill. You just pop it on there. And these are also compostable, which is really cool. And then you just put it back together and then your deodorant is ready to use. And then obviously you can refill this. They do loads of different designs of the cases. They do different scents in the deodorant. I think they've got 14 to choose from in their core range. And they do specific sensitive ones as well if you do have more sensitive skin. And also because the actual deodorant itself contains natural ingredients, it doesn't have the aluminium salts, it doesn't have parabens, which are things that can sometimes irritate your skin. And personally, I found since switching to Wild, my underarms feel a lot more comfortable. I don't get the same like red itchy rashes that I used to get when I was using antiperspirant. But the new fragrance is called Sunkissed, and it says here it's coconut milk, lang lang and vanilla. I really love a vanilla-y scent. That is such a nice comforting smell. I think they also make that in the body wash as well, because they have the refillable body washes. They also sent me over a couple of little lip balm refills. We've got the coconut and vanilla, which I actually really like in the deodorant as well. We've got the original. They do unscented if you don't like anything scented on your lips. For my lip balm that's just sat on my desk, I'm still using one of the previous designs, but they do make other designs of the lip balms as well. And again, these are refillable. And you can get the refills on a subscription basis, so that's what I do. I just pay, I think, monthly for my deodorant refills, and then they just are posted through my letterbox, and then you can just refill your case. And obviously you can pick which scents you want. You can switch your scents whenever you like. You can pause or cancel at any time. So very easy if you wanted to try it. My discount code is SOPH2025 and it gets you 20% off the website. It is only for a limited time, so I'll put it on the screen. I will link it down below. I'll put a QR code somewhere on the screen so you can just scan that. So if you'd like to try Wild or any of their products, you can use my code. If you would like to get your hands on this lovely Cath Kidston case, then this is available now. And thank you to Wild as always for partnering with me. Okay, let's test some makeup hacks, shall we? By the way, I'll post the 2 videos on the screen. They were actually pictures from a couple different TikTok users where they said, tell me your most unhinged makeup hacks. I want like crazy, very odd things that actually work and never fail you. The next one is from Lauren Alaya and it says, girl to girl, what is your biggest makeup hack that has been holding you down? No BS, no gatekeeping, just facts. So I took a few screenshots from those comment sections. The first hack, I'm having to start early. This is me from the past. And there were multiple people that recommended this. I smear Cicaplast balm on my face 30 minutes before I start makeup and makes for the most flawless base. People are agreeing, saying it's the best thing ever. Someone said I do the same except I use the spray version. Works like the Road Milky glazing stuff. I swear my foundation has never looked better. And then another person on a different video said Cicaplast is the best under eye cream before concealer. No one can tell me otherwise. So if you're wondering what the Cicaplast is, it's the La Roche-Posay Cicaplast, and I have both the spray and the balm. However, my balm is so nearly empty because I've been using this on my bump. I use this on my bump and I use it on my eczema. I have not used it on my face, but I'm gonna try and get the last little bit out of this. But as people also recommended the spray, I figured I'll just do both. Let's do that one first. I fear that this may not be acne friendly, but I'll try it for the video. It's quite a thick moisturizer, and I will say works really well on dry patches of body skin. It's been working really nicely on my bump. I mean, my skin definitely now feels super duper hydrated, and it feels like it's giving me that kind of glass skin, but it does feel very oily. That's my only concern. I feel like maybe the people that are recommending this had dry skin, because don't get me wrong, like I like some hydration, but my skin definitely feels oily. Also, normally I would do moisturizer and then I'll put my SPF on, and I can't not put my SPF on. I don't want to commit a crime. I know that this one usually doesn't fail me under makeup, so we'll go with that today. Oh, this is the L'Oreal Revitalift one. Anti-UV fluid. And now we wait. So my face has been smothered in the moisturizer, the Cicaplast. It's been sat there. I'm assuming I don't then go in with a primer and I just put my foundation straight on top of this. It sounds like they're using it as a primer. And I'm gonna just use one of my go-to fail-safe foundations. This is the Maybelline Superstay. Maybelline Superstay Lumi Matte. I don't see why this wouldn't work. It's more just that I feel like because my skin is oily, this might be a bit much as a base, you know? By the way, I did post a shade twin video, which will be in my shorts. But if you're curious about all of my natural skin tone foundation and concealer shades, it is in that video, which hopefully is helpful. Does my makeup look any smoother than normal? Honestly, I feel like this is probably a hack that's better for dry skin. I also do have quite big pores as well, and I feel like when I don't use a primer, you can see the pores more around my nose. I don't think that's looking any smoother than normal, but I can definitely see how this could work if you had drier skin. Like, a thicker moisturizer is obviously going to help things go on smoother, but maybe not if you have oily skin. So maybe this isn't the hack for me. I just know for a fact that my makeup has gone on smoother than this. Something that moisturizer really helps with though is if you have any spots that you've been trying to dry out like this one, making sure that they are well moisturized will make them so much less obvious because they won't look as like flaky. I just feel like around my nose it still doesn't look as smooth as normal, but that's fine. On to the next. This next one comes from a makeup artist, and it says, I'm a makeup artist, but in my private life I use the P. Louise eyeshadow base as under eye concealer to brighten my under eyes, and because it's full coverage and meant to be tacky, it literally doesn't crease under my eyes. And as someone else said, I use P. Louise eye base as concealer for under eyes and to cover acne. I'm so curious about this one. My under eyes are rough at the moment. You know what, I'm gonna try this. I've got the shade Blank Canvas, which I think is like the lightest one, but it is kind of a like pale concealer shade, to be fair. I'm gonna take a little bit. This is quite thick, so I'm a bit concerned about that, but I'm gonna take some and just dab it onto these spots first. Okay, that's not gonna work, is it? If anything, that's just made it more obvious. Maybe if I try with a brush? Why does it just not want to stick to that? Like, it's sticking to everywhere, to the entirety of the surrounding of the spot, but not actually the spot itself. What's going on? Let me try on like a spot scar. Why does it just not want to stick? Well, that one doesn't work for me either. Why did I think that was going to work really well and it's just not? But now I don't have much hope for my under eyes, do I? Let's just take, I don't know, a few blobs like this, and then I'll try this side with my sponge. Okay, wait. That's definitely doing something, but it does look a little bit dry, I'm not gonna lie, because this is quite like it sort of sets almost. I don't know how to describe the texture. It's like thick and a little bit sticky. I mean, that has worked, but I still feel like I need more coverage. I wonder if I apply some with my brush like this and then try blending it out. But then because it is a primer, part of me thinks if I put my regular concealer over the top of this, it might help it last a bit longer. But then maybe that might just be too much product under there. I don't know. It's definitely done something in terms of coverage, but I still feel like I would want some concealer on. Actually, maybe not. I feel like that has actually done a pretty good job. In terms of the crease proof aspect, I feel like I'm starting to see a few little creases under there already. And I did apply quite a lot of product, and maybe she does then set it with a powder. But yeah, I don't know. It's looking a little bit dry. What I'm gonna do is on the other eye, I'm gonna do my regular concealer so I can compare the differences. Let's do the collection one because I know that this one is quite light. Obviously, it's probably a given that regular concealer is gonna blend a lot easier because it's a thinner consistency. Like the P. Louise one is thick. In terms of coverage, my eyes are really watery today. I'm sorry if they look a bit puffy. Honestly, guys, I hate to say it, but the concealer side does look better in terms of like texture under my eye. I don't know how well you can see. I mean, neither of my under eyes are looking great, let's be real. But like in terms of the texture underneath, I feel like the P. Louise one is making it look a little bit more dry, a little bit more wrinkly. It's kind of settling in a little bit. I mean, my concealer on this side is also settling into the lines, but it looks a bit more hydrated. This one I feel like is just emphasizing all the texture that I've got going on. Maybe, again, this might work if you have a different skin type, or maybe, I don't know, if you're younger, if you've got filler under the eyes. I'm so curious, if I now put my concealer on top of this, or like a little blob of it, is that gonna like improve the coverage because it will stick to the base? I think it actually did, kinda. I think that's just added more coverage to that. I actually do think there's a difference there. Call me crazy. Now I'm just trying to match the other side by putting on more concealer. By the way, sorry if you can hear a head trimmer outside the window. Not ideal timing, but I need to get this video done. I didn't see a bronzer or blush hack, so I'm just gonna go ahead and do them. And just to say at this stage, the P. Louise concealer side has creased just as much as my regular concealer. So in terms of powder, somebody said pressed powder after loose will always be better. Also do it after your setting spray. And then another comment which had 5,000 likes said setting spray in between. After a few steps, just spray and let it sit, game changer. I just want to make sure that all the creases are out first. I'm using the Sephora Collection Mist. I'm very intrigued to see if my concealer will still blend after this, because obviously I've not set it yet. I mean, yeah, already. That's made everything look a lot nicer. I'm gonna just see if these can see. Yeah, okay, my concealer will still blend. Loose powder. This is the Natural Collection one, actually. I'm trying to give this another test, because it's only like £3, I think. Same on the other eye. And then I'm just gonna powder everywhere. God, I forget how much this powder flies around. And then they said to do setting spray, and then pressed powder. So this is my face before the setting spray again. Then they said to take a pressed powder. I'm going to go for the Charlotte Tilbury one because I know that this is good. Is that doing anything? I don't know. And then I'm going to add that under my eyes. It feels like a lot of product to be using under the eyes, but I'm just going with what the girlies are saying on TikTok. I mean, I can imagine that this would last a really good amount of time. It does look a little heavy and it feels quite dry. Like, I don't know, it feels a little bit dry under there. I see where they're coming from though. It definitely looks and feels very smooth. It just feels like a lot of makeup. What do we think? Does that look better than it did before? Does it look worse than it did before? I think maybe for a special event where you were gonna have loads of flash photos, maybe like a wedding or something, and you need your makeup to like last and be bulletproof, then I could see this working, and I feel like it would probably look good on camera. And again, there were no powder bronzer, powder blush hacks. If anyone has any bronzer or blush hacks, let me know in my own comments section. I feel like I did a video before where I was testing your guys' makeup hacks, and I do have a video coming up of me testing your favourites as well. Oh, that nose contour's a bit harsh, isn't it? Oh god, what have I done here? Oopsie. And then for my blush today, I'm just going to use this Hourglass one, which is the Ambient Lighting Blush in Luminous Flush, just because I saw this in my collection the other day and was like, I've not used that one in a while. My face is feeling incredibly dry. Gonna try and bring a bit of glow back with a cream highlighter. This is the number 7 bronzer stick that I used, but it has a little cream highlighter on the end. I know, who am I? Okay, cool. And then I think setting spray again. This time I'm gonna go for a glowy one. This is the Urban Decay All Nighter Ultra Glow, which is actually one of my favourites. But I will say, having all of those layers of setting spray, I can definitely tell if you don't like the feeling of wearing makeup and it feels heavy on your skin, this is a way to make it feel even heavier. I don't doubt that it's going to last great, but you can definitely feel it, you know what I mean? The next person said, do your eyebrows with mascara. I did it in a pinch one day and never went back. It actually looks like hair. I mean, obviously this depends on which colour mascara you use. I'm going to try this with a brown mascara, because I use a medium brown eyebrow gel anyway, so I don't see why this wouldn't work. So see how this goes. It's definitely done the job. I don't see why it wouldn't. It's more just getting the colour right, I guess, but I think this one is a little bit dark for me. Can I get away with that, or is it a bit dark? I actually think it looks pretty good. Does it? But it's actually a good, like, cool tone shade. If you've got dark brown hair and you want a cool toned, very pigmented brow gel, that works a treat. I don't even think there's that much filling that needs to be done. I get it. Especially if you have black hair and you use a black eyebrow gel. Be economic, double up your product, save some money. Okay, this next one was actually a video that I saw, and it is basically this Q-tip or cotton bud liquid eyeshadow application, and then you blend it all together and it's supposed to look like this stunning wing. I don't have the same shades of liquid eyeshadow, but I'm going to use the same principle of how is this going to... How do they... I don't know about this one, guys. I feel like they make that look a lot easier than it actually is. I'm going to use these two shades. This is an e.l.f. liquid eyeshadow in Dirty Martini, which is like a dark brown with a slight hint of green. And then I'm going to use the Lancome Teint Idole liquid eyeshadow in 06. So one dot there, one dot next to it, and then one dot on the very outer corner of the eye. And then on the upper lid, the other shade. And also one dot there, and then 2 dots on the upper lash line. They used the actual cotton bud to blend this all out and to do a little wing. Oh, ow. It feels like I'm exfoliating my under eyes. Oh no, it's transferred onto my lid. Why are we using a cotton bud, guys? What's wrong with the brush? What is wrong with a little angled brush? Oh, it looks great. My eye feels irritated. Like, a cotton bud is not a comfortable applicator. I'm actually going to try and use that lighter shade that was still left on this to blend it out. No. I mean, surprisingly, I was able to do a little wing. Oh god. This looks insane, but like not not in a good way. What is the purpose? I'm trying to figure out. I feel like it would be easier to just do this. Wait, let me do my own version on the other side. 1, 2, and then a dot up there, the lighter shade like next to it, and then instead of using a cotton bud, I don't know, I feel like maybe a brush. Oh no, is this dried already? How is it dried already? Oh, I'm having an absolute mare here, guys. No! Oh, I'm getting like friction burns. Neither of these are my cup of tea. Where do I go from here? How am I actually gonna fix this? I'm gonna just take a little bit of micellar water on a cotton bud, funnily enough, and I'm just gonna remove like the bits closest to my eye. Oh, that hard work I did on my concealer. I'm just gonna take a tiny bit of concealer, work it into my brush, and just apply that where I've messed up. Powder, set that. And then honestly, I think the best thing to do if you've messed up your under eyes, take some bronzer, just to disguise it a bit. I'm gonna have to do something about this wing. Wait, let's take some more of this peachy coloured eyeshadow and try and create like an actual wing with it. I just had a quick food break and I literally have pasta on my face. But you know what I've learned? When the eyeshadow goes wrong, add a bit of bronzer. But most importantly, add some glitter. Literally just over the top of it. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Super Neutral Eye Palette. I've actually just kind of mixed those 3 shades together. The 3 sparkly shades. You know what? This is why I'm testing these things, so you don't have to waste your time. We are nearly at the end. The next one says a mascara primer, a volumizing mascara, and a lengthening mascara are the Are Those Fake Lashes starter pack. And I saw somebody else say to just keep building your mascara and you will get the lashes of your dreams. So I used to use that double-ended L'Oreal one that had like the lengthening and volumizing thing. That was pretty good from what I remember, but that was years ago. So I'm going to use the Urban Decay Subversion as my lash primer. Step 1, I'm going to do one eye at a time. Then for my volumizing mascara, I'm going to use the Crazy Volume mascara from Essence, which this already is giving me really good length. And then a lengthening mascara. So this is the L'Oreal Telescopic. I think this is the original one, the one in the gold packaging, which is one of my favourite mascaras anyway. I mean, these are already looking really good. Oh my god. It's definitely getting clumpy, but my lashes are getting huge. I think it's definitely doing something. Just out of curiosity, on the other eye, I'm just going to use the telescopic because this is what I would normally do. So I've just done 2 coats of the telescopic on this eye, and then obviously this one had all the layers. This one definitely looks a bit more voluminous, and definitely my bottom lashes look better. Can I be bothered to do this every day? No. But does it work quite well? Yes, but also I don't know if there's enough difference there. Maybe if I do an extra layer, because they did say to just keep building. Yeah, that lift is crazy. Look at them from the side. But then I'm so curious if I just keep building this side if it will do the same effect. I think this one is more voluminous for sure. Let me know, can you see a difference? And then the final hack is probably the most unhinged one that I saw in here. I mean, none of these were really unhinged. So somebody said if you have a scab that's ruining your makeup texture, just use a nail buffer file to sand it down so it's smoother, then just put a blob of moisturizer on it, then your makeup. But again, I didn't have a scab on my face to do that with because this spot is kind of like, it's not scabbed over, it's just a spot. That one is slightly unhinged. But this one says, I have been using fake blood as a lip tint for years. Genius. Fake blood stains everything. And I have a tube of it right here. I guess I'll use a brush because I'm not just like blobbing this on my lips. God, do not spill this on my rug. Yeah, get a cream rug for your filming room, Soph. That'll be a great idea. And I'm just gonna paint it on, starting with the outline. I'm gonna do another layer. The only struggle is it's not going on that evenly. Like, why is it just coming off? Okay, I'm just gonna do my whole lip. Now do I just leave it for a while? Do I leave it to dry? You know how sometimes when it dries it kind of then starts peeling. But yeah, it's not really applied very evenly. Now that it's dry, I'm gonna wipe it off. It's definitely working. It has worked to give my lips a bit of a tint. However, can you see how it's just stained like all the inside bits of my lip way more than the outside? So it just looks a bit patchy. But then I had this problem with those like sachet peel off lip stains anyway. Maybe it depends on the type of fake blood. This was a really, really cheap one. I think it was literally from Poundland. So let me know if anyone else has tried this with a regular fake blood from anywhere else and if it works. If you have a tube of fake blood, try it, let me know. I can definitely see it working. But for now, I'll just stick with my regular lip combos. This is Rare Beauty Wise, and then Maybelline Caramel. And we are done. Okay, so I didn't speak in this because James had gone to sleep, but I just wanted to show you this is what my makeup looked like at half midnight. It was so smooth and barely any of my oils came through. So the fact that I used, I don't even know how many layers of setting spray, I think it actually really did something. It did feel like a heavy full face of makeup, but it definitely lasted. So that is the end of me testing some weird makeup hacks. This was maybe the biggest fail out of these videos that I've had. It just goes to show that what works for one person doesn't always work for someone else. And what works for them did not work for me. But that's why I'm here, to test these things so you don't have to. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you would like to see any more of these types of videos, let me know in the comments, subscribe, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!